In the early morning hours of February 9, 2024, I found myself in the realm of astral projection. The journey began with a profound connection to my grandmother in my dream. A sense of happiness and warmth enveloping me as her presence was felt. Actually, she did pass away since my childhood about 20 years ago. I heard whispers that someone wished to be with my mother, a message that left me intrigued. As I delved deeper, I shifted my focus to the backyard of my former house, a place filled with memories. The landscape unfolded before me: a pond, a rice field, and a sudden realization that I was not alone. I could feel a strong connection to the surroundings. Curiosity led me to inquire about my grandmother's thoughts on the matters. Abruptly, I awoke, finding myself in the familiar confines of my sleeping room. I was waking up from a sofa in IMAX office, a company of my friend based in Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia. Stepping outside, I was greeted by the daylight, confirming my return to the waking world. I did notice during that moment that, it is already morning time. Then I walked outside. Suddenly I saw myself in another strange world. Yet the astral journey continued. Suddenly I was surrounded by a vast expanse of sea and icebergs. I saw something like big rock floating in the vast sea, but the color, the atmosphere, the view was different, something very strange. But those big rocks floating in the seas, when I try to observe and look deeper, it was something like a different color between white and black, really black. So the color of those big rocks, it's like big icebergs. It looked like icebergs and also like a big rock floating in the sea, and there are so many of them floating around, and I was standing kind of one of them, of that big rock in the middle of those icebergs in the sea. And I tried to observe those big rock and see, and try to inquire, to really investigate what it really is. It appears like it has two distinct colors. It looked from far away like a iceberg, a snow, white, very white, but also it has, it's like a skin of a tiger, between white and black, and when we look deep into that black color of those iceberg, it feel like very black, very dark, like the black hole. Initially mistaken for large rocks, but these majestic ice formations became the focal point of an otherworldly experience. It very strange feeling, a sense of like not really dreaming, but of waking in another world at the same time. The world around me was a canvas of white and black, reminiscent of an ancient ice age. It felt as though I had traversed through time itself. But I felt more like I was living in the ice age in the future that is coming, that is happening to our world, not the ice age in the past. It's something like I already live in the future when the world became frozen. Everywhere is like ice. It's like I am living in the ice age. That is the feeling that I noticed during that moment. It has a sense of past time, something used to happen in the past, but at the same time, it's just a strange feeling that, okay, you are observing all those strange icy environment. At the same time, it has a sense of the future, and you just notice yourself that I'm somewhere in the future time of the earth. And it also attached with a sense that you are traversed through time to live in the future, and you notice you tend to have certain awareness about that strange feeling, and have a sense that you are coming from somewhere to that particular place and time also. Then reality asserted itself through a conscious check, and the awareness dawned upon me. I was no longer confined to my physical body. The exhilaration of flight occurred through me as I soared through diverse landscapes. It's a kind of feeling that when you are somehow aware that you are not dreaming anymore, and you are not in your body, that sense of awareness and feeling, because you kind of trained about that already, then you just know immediately that, okay, in order to do the reality check, the only way is to try to fly it. Then the majestic mountain ranges tease my desire to stand atop them. There are many of those mountain range and big giant mountain in front of me, somewhere another side from those icebergs and seas and the ocean. So they try to tease my desire when I had a sense of wanting to fly. And among those top mountain, there is the highest one, and I targeted myself while flying, want to be at the top of that mountain. But my attempts were met with failure, kind of stepping on it, but suddenly it changed the landscape. Then various creatures of varying forms and beings appeared beneath me, their strangeness not causing surprise, for I understood the unconventional nature of the astral realm. My journey continued an unbroken flight through different vistas and dimensions. It's a kind of you are flying, but at the same time you tend to have an awareness that okay, you are somewhere in the astral world, and you are not surprised with those strange beings look like animal and humanoid, part of human, part of animal, and part of shape and form from different dimension or world. It really has no word to describe from using human body shape or animal from this world to compare to those strange beings. While I was flying, I observed there are somewhere beneath me around, and so many of them. A moment of transition occurred, marked by a falling sensation. Different types of animals native to our earthly realm passed before my eyes as I pushed through a ground-like substance. The fear of waking up threatened, but I resisted, pushing through the ground until I emerged, leaving a visible trace of my journey on the ground. So, while you are flying, suddenly you have that strange feeling that you are kind of aware that okay, you are in the astral world. It is not okay to feel happy, and when you can fly you tend to feel happy, but suddenly somehow there is an awareness attached that try to poke and awake me that in the astral world it is, if I try to feel excited and over joy and happy, obviously I know that I will come back to my body. Then while I'm flying, I try not to overreact it, over excited, but somehow the flying tend to fall down to the earth, and at the same time you notice that you know that you are falling back. It means you are coming back to your body. Then you try to avoid that. It's really a strange phenomenon that you can control yourself and your reality in the astral world, and you are aware that you are doing something in the astral world. Then reality checks became a constant, a methodical reassurance of my astral state. Yet a moment of doubt crept in as I questioned whether the extensive flight through the grounded hole was a dream. The reality of my astral projection became undeniable, and a sense of empowerment settled in. So when I came through, when I fell down and I tried to avoid to come back to my body, then it kept pushing and flying, but I was aware that I was flying on the ground because I already fall back, but I don't want to come back to my body. That's why it was continuing until it left a trace of the ground like a hole of the snake, a long hole. And then when I pop up from the ground, I believe, I convinced myself that actually I already woke up, because I already carry my iPhone and checked with the iPhone, and I was surprised that actually I was in the astral world and I already woke up, just emerged from the ground, and I look back to the ground and the trace of my flying in the whole of the ground, and I thought that actually that was a dream. It kind of the astral or the dream, and actually I already woke up, and I did the reality check with my iPhone and look back on those traces of flying. It convinced me that I already woke up. So I believe that I already woke up during that time, and seeing I even measure the reality of the astral and the dreaming during my flying through the ground hole. The reason that I could not continue flying because there was a big wall barrier that constrained me, stopped me from going further. That's why it created a big and long hole as a trace of my flying during the dream. And all of these things was checked again during my pop up from the ground, that time when I believe I already woke up. Then I encountered with 3 mysterious individuals sitting and talking and try to show something through a screen, kind of TV or computer, in which it contains certain hidden meanings, and their conversations held certain intended meaning that I understood during that time, but I forgot when I woke up to this physical world. But for now, I'm clear that those messages and pictures in the TV show and the screen that those strange, mysterious beings were talking about and want to show me has a certain meaning for my life. And an attempt to shut down a bizarre watch on my iPhone proved futile, as I carry my phone and they try to know something in my phone, but there was a strange voice and annoying voice, kind of a girl screaming strange thing. That girl, female being, something like not human, screaming and disturbing from my phone, and I tried many times to shut it down, but I could not, in order to continue my response and my conversation with those 3 mysterious beings. Yet the awareness of having crossed into a realm where everything had changed linger. The 3 figures led me into another room. A shift between 2 realities became apparent. Empowered by newfound abilities, I tested my control over reality, manipulating the environment around me. A machinery room emerged, and an orchestrated display of electricity played out in sync with my movements. During that shifting between 2 rooms that those 3 beings moved to, I was somewhere in the middle and trying to, there was a certain strange but the same voice that kept alerting me from within, kind of the awareness within that trying to alert me that, okay, that same message that kept echoing in my being, deep in my mind, when I was flying after the iceberg and the mountain range case. There was a strange voice that kept telling me that when I wake up from that ground, from that astral world, the whole world, the whole reality will change to me. So then I can prove and test it. So that because of that, voice keeps echoing in my awareness and my mind, the time when those three beings move from one room to the others, I try to test this reality, do the reality check again with to prove that void that keep tell me when I wake up from the astral world, everything in the world will change to me. I can even control the reality. Then I look around the environment, especially strange light like a electrical bulbs appear with the light for me to test the reality. Then I look into those light bulbs, electrical light. The electrical light looks strange and beautiful, and it has play with my mind and my consciousness, so I can see it from different reality, not the same as the light that we used to see in the physical world. When we look into the electrical bulbs, we can just see the light, normal light, or the iPhone or the screen of the computer, we can just see the normal light. But in that moment when I look into the electrical light, it break out and become like a flower and dancing and playing with me. So the light has certain responsiveness in conjunction with my awareness and my mind. It has a certain play with it has ability to play with my mind when I want to see them, and especially with my eyes. Returning to the outer reality, a self-protection ability became apparent, warding off the attempts of alien beings. Okay, before come to this point, talking about the three beings when they moved to the other room, and I saw myself standing somewhere in the mid between those two rooms. The other room looked like more bright, lightful, clear. The room that I was popped up previously from the ground, and the other side, at the left hand side, that those three beings, strange non-human being, moved to, it looked more the deeper we look into that left side of the room, the darker. So I was standing somewhere between black and white, dark and light. And then one of those strange beings went into a machinery room with certain intention, hidden intention, to let me do the reality check again. When the person went into that room, a fire ring circled the person, and then I just move my hands, the fire just move in sync with my hand movement, my gesture. A couple times that proved my ability to control reality. So when I move my figures with a gesture like come in movement, the person and the firing and all the objects in those moment move in line with my hand movement in the same way like my hand movement, and that again certain voice, hidden voice, strange mysterious voice confirm me that actually I can control the reality in that world, in that waking state. And during that time I was believing that I'm already awake. I did not aware that I was in a dreaming or in astral world, because I already aware that after I pop up from the ground, all those things that happened during my flying with the icebergs and the mountain range and the flying and seeing strange being, those things are astral world, and I already woke up. So it keeps confirming me again and again that I'm doing certain reality checks, that I'm awaking during that time. Then returning to the alter reality, a self-protection ability became apparent, warding off the attempts of alien beings to touch me. I saw groups of strange beings again in another section, another room, kind of another world reality. They look very alien, not human, not animals, part of human, part of animal. And then I can transform myself between this human to be one among them, and sometimes I transform back to this human and I saw me as true reality and true person. Sometimes I am this human standing in the middle, and sometimes I saw me as part of them, among them. A transformative sequence unfolded, revealing a unique and invulnerable form. Challenges arose and the protection held firm, symbolizing a newfound mastery over the astral plane. In the midst of these encounters, the awareness of being at the crossroads of two realities persisted. A room with a varying degrees of light unfolded, and the realization that I could control reality brought about a profound shift in perception. The journey culminated in a room at the back side. When I turn around, I see a young uniformed girls presented with intention firings, each light changing in response to my desires. Despite challenges from strange beings attempting to touch me, my awareness of the power to resist persisted. So that moment, a certain echo voice, mysterious voice again keeps telling me that after I've gone through all of these reality tests, I know nothing can touch me. So I can transform from my human being to one being one among them. At the same time, nothing can touch me. With that strange noise and sense of being, those strange not human beings come to me and try to use their hand to touch me, and they fail to do so. Those arms nearly reach my body. Suddenly something moves them away. So this creates a sense of safety and security, that nothing can touch me. But at the same time, the awareness that alerts me, okay, in the astral world, if we are, this is something the noise, the voice in my head told me in that moment. In the astral world, if I am to react either with overexcitement or with fear, then I will be sent back immediately to my body. So then I convince, in that moment, I try to convince myself not to overreact and not to fear, even though I'm standing in the middle of those strange beings trying to approach and touch me. I can convince myself, and I can be fearless among them, but still those hands try to reach my body. Then as the astral adventure reached its zenith, a moment of fear gripped me. Not really kind of fear, but it's just a slight body movement to move away from their arms. Then I utter a sound, and then I already sent back to my physical body in my bed. Then I woke up. The astral journey concluded abruptly, and I found myself awake in my physical realm, reflecting on the profound experience. I was contemplating that, I was conscious that during the moment I pop up from the ground, I already believed that I already woke up, but actually I did not. I just woke up again on the sofa on the bed, in the room that I was sleeping. That is the real waking up to the physical world. Then I move move away from the sleeping area and look to the door, and I check. Actually, it is not daylight. It is still early morning, not that really full of light of the daytime. It again surprised me to reflect on the previous time. I already woke up one time already, because I just aware that I went out the same way and went to the door some time ago, and already believed that it was daytime, because I really see the light from the outside door, and I even went out through the door. But no, it is not. It is still early morning. So the image, the picture, the reality that I saw previously, that I saw myself walk out to see the door and the daylight, that was just my dream. So it's several times that I woke up and confused myself in a streamlined long process of dream or astral world, because I already saw the same room, the same bed, and I walk outside and see the daylight and really believe that actually I walk out, but actually it is not. So then, after this contemplating, I went to transcribe all this process immediately and open my computer and try to note every detail, and I check the time on the computer. As I transcribe these events, I saw the time on the computer. It is actually at 5:51 5 o'clock, nearly 6 o'clock, early AM, early morning on February 9, 2024. I just felt a deep sense of gratitude towards my grandmother. So after I transcribed everything, then I went to the restroom and came back for resting and reflecting deeply into what happened during that night time, early morning time, not really the night time. So I felt deep in that moment, deep sense of gratitude towards my grandmother. All the process through the astral journey, somehow I felt the support from her from somewhere, the other part, the other side, the other world. And also felt the same sense of gratitude toward all the supportive entities, beings, strange beings that I encounter in the astral realm. The journey had unveiled a realm where reality could be shaped. That's what I reflect and learn from that night, that actually the reality in the other world can be shaped according to our mind, reality, quality of mind, without reactions, again, excitement or fear, especially fear. And the lessons learned would linger in my waking consciousness for long to come. Moving in gratitude both in the waking and sleeping worlds, I marvel at the profound interplay between the astral and the physical dimensions.